Peace. Good morning, family. How you doing? It's Mr. R2 here at Consistency is Currency. Of course, your morning podcast of choice. I would like to thank you for. I would like to thank you for thanking you. We're gonna say it is a blessing for us to be alive because there are some people who did not make it. Had a few phone calls of some people who, uh, family members who have passed on, who have transitioned. And for those who have the ability to see one another, of course, this is virtually. And because it's virtually, we can see each other and we're going to allow technology to keep us connected. And I would say we're alive. I'm alive. You're alive. No matter how trying the weekend may have been to you, we're alive to tell about it. We're alive to see it. Peace, Miss Titania. We're alive to see it. And because we can see it, I want to let you know that life is what you see and what you do with the things that you see. That's when you really begin to live your life and live it in abundance. So one thing I want you to know, what I want you to start out with today is I want you to say to you that I am gifted. That's what I want you to say. I mean, I can say it all day, but I want you to say, profess it to you, put the put it out there in the atmosphere, put the energy out there, create the frequency, whatever you want to call it, however you want to call it. Peace. Good morning, Miss Selena. I want you to say to you that I am gifted. I know last week we spoke of combining your gifts with your efforts. And today we're going to be talking about moving past your natural gifts. It's a thing. It's a thing because I studied it. How many know people who sit on their gifts? I know it's not just me. I mean, if you can hear me, if you can see me, that means you have the ability to respond and to communicate. How many of you know people who have, or who may currently is, or people who have sat on their gifts, or maybe it's you. Maybe it's you. I know for me, there are some gifts that I have. I know I sat on, or I'm sitting on. I can be transparent about it. So if I can be transparent about it and talk about me, then I know that you can be transparent about it and open those doors because it's like basic problem solving. The first thing that you do when you begin the process of problem solving is to identify what the problem is. So today we're going to be communicating about moving past your natural gifts. I'm gonna bring this up because today is going to be kind of deep. I was getting chills, as I was writing them. So the individuals that are here right now, just go ahead and share this live, put it inside of an active group, or put it on your timeline, whichever one, because this segment right here is definitely going to touch someone. It's either going to touch you or something is going to resonate with you, or it's going to begin to open up a new conversation that you need to have with yourself. Because I know that I was having conversations with myself as I began to go through this particular lesson plan itself. So once you go ahead and execute in the art of obedience and share this, go ahead and put share inside the comment because this one, it was thick. It was getting thick. The air was getting thick in here as I began to formulate this stuff. So for all those that know this platform, you will be educated as far as words. I like words. Now, I'm not a great speller, but I love words. I love finding and defining words because it allows me to see the origin, whether I'm going through the etymology of it or I'm just looking at the definition itself or several definitions. But what I like to do is take the definition and then recreate the definition within itself. Now, gifts is something that we saw last week, and we're going to communicate about it a little bit, just a little bit today, but we're going to expose um, other things that I want you to begin to learn about it. So put gifts inside the chat because everyone has a gift. But now we're going to be talking about moving past your natural gifts. Put natural gifts. So the definition of gifts is a notable capacity, talent, or endowment to endow with some power, quality, or attributes. And the inversion on this is red over white, a notable talent endowed with quality or attributes. A notable talent. That is something that you notice. It's not something that you're waiting for someone else to notice about you, or you have been told that you have it, but it is something that is notable inside of you, the talent that you have, and it is endowed through quality or attributes. What attributes do you possess? So now we're going to go into moving past your natural gifts. This was last week's definition, but I wanted to take you back to bring you forward. Can I do that? All right, appreciate it. I was going to do it anyway, even if you said no. But anyway, let's talk about natural. Natural is defined as a person regarded for having an innate gift or talent for a particular task or activity. Now, go back to gift. It has talent in it, a notable talent. That was last week. That was your yesterday. So bringing it into today, which is your this week, a person regarded as having a innate gift or talent with for a particular task or activity. Now the inversion here is white over red, which is a person with innate gifts or talent. It's what talents do you have? What natural abilities do you have? What natural gifts do you have? What innate gifts do you have within inside of you? What innate gifts do you have of talent? What things do you have that is natural to you? What things do you find naturally that you can do with the least amount of effort? So now, as you see, the word talent again is in natural. The word talent again is in the word gifts, but we see a new word, which is innate. Innate is not in the word gift, but innate is in the word natural. Because if it is a innate gift or talent, the word gift is in the word natural. It is an innate gift or talent. So, Mr. R2, what is innate? I'm seeing this word. It's new because I saw the word gift and I saw the word talent. But what is innate? So now let's talk about innate. Because if we're ever going to move past our natural gifts, we must understand that there are gifts that is within inside of us that we have to have the ability to move past it. Because innate is the quality or ability. The quality or ability. Y'all see some words that are in there again. So now we're talking about quality or ability. The word quality was in gifts. It was talking about the quality or attributes. Now, quality or attributes is one's, now I'm going through the definition of innate. Quality or ability is one that you were born with, not one that you have learned. Inborn, natural. The inversion is red over white. Quality or ability that you were born with, inborn. We can talk about unborn all day, but I am communicating with you about the things that are inborn, the innate ability that you have that is inside of you, the natural gifts that you have, those natural abilities that you have, those natural qualities that you have that you were born with. Everyone was born with a gift, but what are you going to do about it? Do you have the ability to move past the gift? So 4 things that will prevent you from moving past your natural gift. Like, Mr. R2, why do I need to move past my natural gift? Because that's where the execution begins. You, you got people that'll say, oh, I can sing, I'm gifted. Okay, now what? Are you going to move past your gifted? That's like having a child who's gifted and intelligent, but they lack discipline. Or a person who understands their gift, but they lack execution. They're trash when it comes to execution. When are you going to get past the gift that you have and begin to put in the work? That's how to move past your natural gifts. You got people that want to quote things all day. You got people that want to drop stuff all day, but have you possessed the ability to move past your natural gift? Yes, you have it, but now what? These 4 things that we're going to be talking about could possibly prevent you from moving past your gift. Now, the first thing that can prevent you from moving past your gift is listening to the voice of ego. Listening to the voice of your natural ego, because if you have natural talent, there is a natural voice that is inside of your head. But if you listen to your voice of ego, your voice of ego will begin to magnify your value beyond its results. Magnify your value beyond its results. I am a great speaker. I have done this. I have done that. Okay, now what? What type of impact have you had in your community? What type of impact are you having in your family? What type of impact have you had with your son? What type of impact have you had with your daughter? Get past your ego and you want to magnify it and give it, so much value, but your results, the execution behind what you do, have yet to reflect the gift that you have yet to reflect the gifts and talents and the abilities that you have, because you are listening to the loud sounds of your ego, but you have yet to listen to the inner man or the inner voice that you have within, and you have yet to begin to execute that gift and talent in a fashion. It will result in the exaggeration of what you feel that you can do. Once you understand what your gifts are, that's when the work begins. Your talent has the ability to shape your results once you have applied the gifts and executed them. It can happen, but what are you doing after you have identified those things that come natural to you? Number 2, the second one is the fear of perception. The fear of perception. Put perception inside the chat. The fear of perception can prevent you from moving past your natural gifts, worrying about what other people are going to say about you, worrying about how you feel. I think is really emotional. Perception is really emotional. Why? Because it might not really exist. It is what you perceive, emotionally perceive. I will coin something as an emotional an emotional sight. I'll use that, an emotional sight. Perception is like an emotional sight that is seeing something and carrying the emotional trait into how you see things in the future. The fear of perception, serving yourself with biased attention. I don't think, this gonna happen for me, because you're looking at all the negative things instead of looking at the natural gifts that you have. The execution will not happen if you're looking at yourself with the fear of perception. The gifts will not be executed if you possess or you serve yourself biased attention. Serve yourself attention that will actually garner, or serve yourself attention that will actually create the harvest by planting the proper seeds that you need in order for you to grow. Because when you actually place your gifts on notice, but until you get past the anxieties of the execution, your anxieties will alter your conscious way that you see yourself, and it will turn you in a way that your experience have torn down the reality. reverse that. When you feel a certain way, acknowledge what those feelings were. So if they come back, then when you begin to perceive or create some biased attention, say, you know what? I know what this feels like. I know what my gift is, and I'm going to execute. I am going to move past. I am good at it, but I am going to move past what I'm good at, and I'm going to begin to execute the things that I know that I can. And number 3 is the fear of presentation. You worried about how you look. You worried about, oh, I just want this to be the right moment. Oh, I just want to look. I just want it to be so right. What does that look like? You don't even know what right looks like. You don't. But you have a fear of it. You're fearing something that you haven't even seen. So why would you have the fear of perception? Because your gifts have been inborn. That means it was given to you at birth. So how can you perceive something, or how can you have a fear of presentation when you haven't even begun the process of the execution? Your presentation will prevent you from going through the door. Because if your gift may be looked at as a doorway, then your gift will not be executed until you walk through that door. I don't care how many doors was closed in front of your face. I don't care how many opportunities you felt that you missed out on. I don't care how many places that you were in that you felt that I'm not supposed to be here. The fear of presentation will prevent you from focusing on what you should be focusing on. Worried about how does your gift, worried about how other people see your gift. Don't care about how other people see your gift, because your gift is yours. Waiting for the right moment, the fear of how it looked, the fear of provision. There are 2 things that will torment you from moving past your natural gifts. That is the guilt of yesterday and the fear of tomorrow. Your guilt could paralyze your confidence. It could put you in a position that your presentation will never come to pass, because paralyze your own confidence, because you're so afraid of yesterday that tomorrow will never come to pass. That's the fear of perception. And the last thing is so simple, but it's so real. Fear itself. Fear itself. Fear itself can prevent you from moving on. Like Franklin D. Roosevelt said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. That thing that you fear could possibly prevent you from executing. What's the one thing that will prevent you from executing? What is that one thing? Or what has that one thing been that have prevented you from executing? I mean, if we telling the truth today, if we telling the truth about where we are with our gifts, or where we're about to go with our gifts, or communicating about how to move past our natural gifts, then we should be able to communicate and be transparent about what is that one thing that have prevented you from executing your gift. What is that one thing that have prevented you from moving past your gift? I don't care what you're good at, but until you execute it, those gifts will not actually come to. You will sit on that gift. It's like sitting on your hands and trying to fight back. Tied your legs up, tied your hands, and you sat on your hand. And I started socking you in your mouth. You can't do anything now. You might be able to move your neck. That's like you being moved in emotions. You might be a neck and show some emotions, but trust me, I'm tearing your mouth up. That means you are sitting on your hands, you are tied up, but until you untie your hands, until you understand that I do have the ability to fight back, I do have the ability to fight forward. I do have the ability to execute those things that I know that is naturally born inside of me. I do have the ability to start. But until you prevent me from fighting back, then you will never be able to fight forward. Untie your own hands, untie your own feet. Stop preventing yourself from executing and put yourself in a position to win. I'm going to give you a bonus. This is the bonus. Train your offensive and defensive gifts. What does that mean? Train your offensive and defensive gifts. I'm going to tell you what it means. To train your offensive gifts is to execute. And when you train your defensive gifts, that is your applied discipline. Those things that you know that you need to do, the things that you know that you need to ensure that it's done. Because to train your offensive gifts again is the execution of the gift that you have. And your defensive gift is the trained discipline that you have to do it even when you don't feel like doing it. That's you being in your defensive posture, knowing what the potential may be. So I am going to train myself to understand that my gifts was given to me on purpose. But because my gifts was given to me on purpose, then I will forwardly execute the things that I know that I am good at, and I will do it over and over again. Why? Because I will become consistent with that process. All right, so that's what I want you to do. Look at the things that are preventing you from moving past your natural gifts. Execution will be a part of you moving past your natural gift, but what are the things that hold you back? I mean, you're good at it. I would say we are good at it, because I will put myself into that pool of execution as well. We are good at it. But what prevents us from moving those things that we are good at, those things that we are great at, those gifts that we know we naturally have? You have to move past just saying you have a gift, but actually execute that gift. It's going to take training. It's going to take your discipline to want to know how to do it, to want to execute it, to want to apply your wisdom. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Hey, y'all be blessed, and remember, here at Consistency is Currency, this is what it's about. Can you be consistent at being concurrent? And because that currency could create energy, the energy then becomes the power within inside of you to walk different, speak different, talk different, love different, laugh different, because you understood the mission. All right, y'all be blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow right here at Consistency is Currency, and y'all have a very blessed Monday.